Part 2 of the Daily B Show with Manny B, episode 88 with Celene Moon. So that just happens sometimes. It cuts out. Who knows why? So we'll get it back on. We'll wrap it up. But just basically having a bit of a yarn at the moment. Let's see if she's almost on. Hey guys. Bada bing, bada boom. Jump back on. Yeah, so that just happens. Hey Peter. Hey Sheila. I just cut out. I can't tell why. Sheila, I do have a bit of a cold at the moment. Thanks for noticing. Give me un momento, por favor. Jonas, Elia, Elio. All right, here we go. Get her back in. Making it rain, Celene's. Moon shadow, moon shadow. Adam, hey brother. So go check out episode 1 or part 1 of this if you're joining for the replay. It just cut out, so we're just starting all over again. She's coming on in. Hey Carmen, and from Germany. Ah, the Germans are here. Yeah. Hello, John. Good to see you too. Hola. Come on, adding. I know why it takes so long. I do have the sniffles a little bit. I don't know, Celene. I don't know why it's not letting you in. Have you accepted it? Nope. Here we go. Here she comes. Good to see you all, guys. John, I was listening to questions for.
Oh, what happened? What happened?
It just cuts out sometimes. I don't know why.
I don't know. I got that. I got that echo back. Oh no. I can hear myself twice.
All right. Un momento. How are we doing now? I know it's good.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Did you miss me?
Not yours to be sorry for. No sorries. Yeah, look, Facebook just sometimes cuts out, so means you've got a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, sweet. Yay! Oh, and by the way, episode 88, I'm a double 8. I was like, shut up.
You! Yeah, you are.
I love signs. I love them. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Talking about feeling shit and taking drugs and looking at the stars.
Oh yeah, spiritual escapism. That's such a thing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, like the spiritual community,
Spiritual escapism.
I think noted we're spiritual not by choice. We're consciously spiritual by choice. Quoting you.
Consciously or unconsciously?
Yeah, I think a lot of us choose to be spiritual to escape like earthly matters, I feel. So I feel like a lot of people can.
What does it mean to be spiritual for you?
Ooh. It means tuning into myself. It means treating myself sacredly. So always asking myself if I feel good in the moment. So I'm always asking myself, do I feel good? Because I know that if I feel good, then by extension, I'm offering a good vibe. So I'm always really I'm striving to live sacredly and true to myself. So I'm always trying to be as authentic as possible. That's one of my favorite core values. I feel like authenticity is everything. And for someone like me who spends a lot of time thinking about how to be authentic and going about ways to be authentic, there's still a lot of times in my day-to-day life where I find I'm not actually still being myself. And I love being honest about that. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, when that process of thinking about being authentic, I think that'd be the first place I'd address, because authenticity is like sort of like an instinctual, in the moment, just reaction to things, and
Yeah,
allowing yourself to
absolutely.
feel and be in the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm not even scratching the surface with what I want to do yet. Like, when I'm in a position in my life where I have to tell myself to be myself, then red flags are going off.
Who
And I
are
don't
you? Who is
necessarily,
the self you're talking about?
my, like the self that I would see in my visions. Is that what you mean?
I mean, however you choose to take it.
Oh, okay. So if I'm being myself, I am, you know, choosing what I want to do, saying what I want to say, expressing what I want to express. And quite often in my day-to-day life, I feel like I'm not. I still feel like I hold back on a lot of things. Like, for example, at school, like there's a lot of things I want to talk about and I just don't, because it doesn't fall on ears that want to hear what I say. Like, you know, they say truth is the most inconvenient thing to hear. No one wants to hear the truth. And I let that be. There are a lot of times when I could step up and be confident and shine, and I choose not to, because it's almost like I judge. I'm like, well, if they're not going to like what I
Yeah.
say, but I don't know that because I haven't tried. So I'm always calling myself on my own crap, to be honest.
Do you have a process to snap yourself out of that and to step up to the plate when you do find yourself judging and feeling being judged?
Yeah, absolutely. Usually I'll just take a really impulsive action and I'll sort it out straight away. And if I don't act on it, I'll always reflect. So like earlier we were talking about how I feel like I failed as a teacher last week. I've spent the whole weekend really digging deep into how I feel like I can improve. So I'll go back in fresh tomorrow, and take new action. So I'm always thinking about how I can take new action to evolve and expand.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I'm really fascinated by too, because yeah, we play this game of life, and you know, in the last few months, you know, I've actually run out of money twice, and that's something that um, I'm really conscious of. Like when I run out of money, I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm out of alignment with my soul, because if I was in alignment, I would be abundant and all this stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of things, like healing is such a process. And there are a lot of things that I still need to address within myself, because I feel like, you know, I'm all about the action. But if we take big, massive action and we're not fully in alignment with our soul, we're taking big, massive action that's not even congruent. Like we
So
think it is. Like it's one, yeah.
do you associate money with being abundant? Having money with being abundant?
One of the things, yeah.
Miss Guzzi.
Yeah, because I use it to transform my life. So it's one of the things that I would say it's one important thing. I definitely don't demonize money. I definitely have worked on my money story. That's one of my things. But yeah, like I always think too, like with the action stuff, like if I'm going to take a big action, if that action's huge and I'm not in alignment with what I want and what feels good for me, I'm taking a big action that's out of alignment, and it's not going to be the best choice for me. So I always believe in small, tiny, consistent new actions over time, as we course correct and get on path. But I think like this spiritual path or sacred, living true to yourself, I find like it's really complicated, and I've always struggled to market myself. I think I've been pretty slow with my marketing. Like
Always? How long have you been doing it for?
Yeah. Not that long. Since like,
no fucking shit. Don't give me always. Up until now, it's been a challenge, and I'm going to master it very soon, is what I thought I heard you say.
Oh yeah, now I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that flip the script. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to master it very soon, but I can't remember what I was going to say now. It's coming back. Marketing.
While it's coming back, think, is there is there something that you really wanted to get off your chest, or anything that you really feel compelled to share with the audience and pass on in any form or fashion?
Yeah, I feel like honestly, if I could just say one thing to anybody, if it was my one liner, I would say like, you're a superhero and you have superpowers and it already exists for you. It's just a matter of tapping in and tuning into it and letting it out. I really believe that for everybody. And I think if you said to somebody, like, because we're living in a world that thrives off our self-doubt, if you say you're a superhero and people already feel like they're not enough and they're in super low self-esteem mode, and you say that, it almost sounds like it's too good to be true. But I really, really believe that everybody is a superhero with superpowers, and we're all so different. And oh yeah, that's what I lost before, and it ties in perfectly now. See, it was meant to be.
I knew it would.
I find it really hard to swallow spirituality in social media. I think it was you that was saying it, and I was watching you live maybe, and you were talking about how there's a lot of profound sayings going around and they're taken very lightly. And I find that really hard to swallow. Like, I analyze everything. Like, I really get invested in things. I look at things, and like, one of the examples that I would think of, I wonder if I'm stealing it from you, but like the power of now. So like, people will say like, okay, all we have is now. Sweet. All right then. All we have is now. So I'll just do nothing. I'll just eat chocolate. I'll just do this. I'll just do that. But it's just taking one piece of the puzzle. Like, yeah, all we have is now, but there's a little bit more to it than that. You know, like, what about your divine masculine energy? What about wanting to pursue something to expand? Like, there's just so much to it. But people take a profound saying like, all we have is now. Oh, Eckhart Tolle said it, so I'll just do nothing. Oh yeah, sweet, no worries. And that's just, an example, but I just see it everywhere, and I find it really hard to swallow. So and I still feel like I actually am still looking for clarity to go about how I want to send my message to the world, and I'll ask you for your perspective next. But I was thinking today, whereas like when I'm going live, like, sometimes going live is a bit awkward when you're by yourself because you're literally just talking to your own face. It's almost like me talking to myself.
Awkward as to start with, until you get used to it, it's so weird.
Yeah. But like, it's almost like I'm talking to a reflection of myself. So it's like, hey, you, I'm talking to me, but then by extension, I'm talking to others. And I feel like maybe that's the way to go about it. But how do you go about marketing as such a deep thinker? Like, what do you do to deliver your message? Like, what goes in your head before you give your gifts to the world? Because I find that really difficult. I overthink everything.
Well, that's why I put together the Daily Bee and named it the way it is. First step is believing in yourself, which is that's a really deep. Again, it's a slap on bumper sticker, but it's profound and deep, and there's a lot to it. The second thing is when you're at that space is expressing yourself authentically and openly as you completely, and with that, other people's opinions and judgments don't come into it. It's not about trying to get viewers or get numbers or impress people or get compliments or likes or loves, anything like that. I literally do shit because I'm interested in it, I like it, and that's basically it. Like, if I think I'm going to enjoy it, if I find there's people that I'm interested in, that's why I do it. It's just a bonus that other people find the shit that I'm talking about with people interesting as well, which is why I chuck it on, turn the camera on. So yeah, I just do whatever the fuck I want, really. Whatever intrigues me, whatever challenges me, whatever makes me sort of happy, and
that's really refreshing. Yeah.
Yeah, marketing, again, when you're talking about bottom dollar and business, there's strategy involved with that, which is a different thing, and that's again a game to play. But play it, I would say, play that game if that's what intrigues you. If that's the game that interests you, then play that game. If it doesn't, outsource it, because it's a game that some people do love, or just learn it to start with until you're in a position to outsource it. But yeah, mostly just do the shit that makes you happy.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like hearing you say that is so refreshing because, you know, it just is. So thank you. But that's
It's
what I
pressure
need
off,
to do is outsource it. Yeah. There's a lot of things that don't resonate for me in what I'm
Hell
doing.
yeah.
And I always wonder, and there's that balance. It's like that sense of like, you know, there's some things you do that you don't like, but then how long do you do them before you give them away? Like, there's a lot of things to consider, and I feel like I love to go into the why and the how, and like the mechanics of it all, like energetically too. Like, how much do we hustle? How much pain do we want to put ourselves through before? Because you know, you say you grow through pain. Like I definitely feel like I grow through pain, but how much pain is too much pain? How hard do we push ourselves before it's actually too much? You know what I mean? Like there's just so many things. Yeah, and like how much, or like do we surrender and then stop putting ourselves through pain? Then are we being lazy? Like there's just so much balance to consider, and I feel like the world.
Okay, so you're at the gym, right? You go to these classes, and you know the people that put themselves through amounts of pain in the gym, whether it be on the treadmill or in the weights section or in class, right? And you see that when the pendulum is over there while they're putting themselves through pain, it's going to swing back in equal and opposite direction and give them the same amount of pleasure, in the sense of they're going to feel great, they're going to have energy, their body's going to look great, they're going to have all these things. So there's always balance, and this is one of the precepts that come with going through this process, for me anyway, was not just hearing it and going, that sounds good, but exploring it and going out and digging deep into these concepts. And one of them is the universe is always in balance. Energy is always in balance. So there's correspondence and polarities that are at play as the universal laws, and they just govern the whole thing. So there's never too much pain. There's never too much pleasure, because it always balances itself out. The pendulum's always swinging from one to the other. It's just that you can either be conscious of it and utilize it and work that system and play that game, or you can play the game of, I feel like I'm dictated by the pendulum swinging, my emotions do what they do. The world treats me the way it treats me. I'm not responsible for all of this shit. Or you can, or really start understanding what universal laws are guiding everything down to your deepest, like molecules and atoms and electrons and neutrons, and beyond that, and use those systems and really learn about them. I've been listening to this all fucking day as well. Like it's been crazy. I have like 3 hours of universal laws I've been listening to an audiobook. So I'm pumped about that. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, that's awesome. You just sparked something in me when you said, did you say subatomic particles? Or at a cellular level. So I think this is why, like, because I always feel like when I come on, like, when I do social media stuff and do all that stuff, I always feel pretty real. Like I'm always, you know, what you see is what you get. I think my point with social media before, like finding social media hard to swallow, is that in a world that is, you know, profiting off our self-doubt, really. Understanding spiritual concepts, it's one thing to think things, and it's one thing to really believe and feel them, like at a subatomic level. So like, for example, like this is what
I think to experience it.
So like, for example, I spent a long time just looking at myself in the mirror saying, I am beautiful. I am a champion. I didn't believe it at all. Like I really didn't. I was like, you're an idiot, but just give it a crack. And I just like tell myself, and it was one thing to think the thoughts every day, like affirm. Like I don't really do affirmations anymore, to be honest. Like I feel like I just know that I'm awesome. But really affirming for a long time. But it's one thing to think something, but then it's another thing to really feel it. And until you really feel it and experience it, and who knows, like there's more for me to come. Like I'm, you know, like I'm in a place of not knowing, I suppose, but this is where I'm right now. It's like, there's still so many shoulds, like in society, like going back to before, like we should have a car, we should have a house, we should have kids, we should have a relationship, we should have a good job, we should have security, blah blah blah. Sometimes I feel like in social media, on the internet, even from well-meaning sources, there's still a lot of shoulds. Like we should have, we should have 5 magical steps to success. We should have liberation.
So you
in
feeling
3
pressure
steps.
from that? Or what,
Sometimes.
how is that? What? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly that's some stuff that I need to work on for myself. Like I always feel like I need to have an answer for everything, and it's really disempowering. It's actually a really disempowering thing. And I love calling myself on this stuff because I really, you know, it's that whole thing of like you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I think that sometimes I feel like I need to save somebody, and sometimes I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure other people don't get hurt. And I think that's something that I've carried with me from my younger years. But I've noticed if I'm conscious of it, it doesn't happen. But if I'm not conscious of it, like I think that I can actually get up on a pedestal and I can be pretty arrogant. And that's like, that is the stuff that I want to, yeah.
What I hear is you're trying to save yourself and you're trying not to get hurt.
Save others.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But it's never about other people. Never about other people.
About me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always about me, yeah. But this is the thing though, like, so I'll do heaps of work on this and then, you know, something else will come up and something else will come up. And I love that process. But I feel like for me, I love owning my stuff and being like, it's almost like I feel like it's like if I was like that rock star, like that just showed people that it was normal to realize that you don't have to be perfect and have it all together, and just be real. Like that's okay. Hey,
that's the balance again. There's always, everyone's got shit and good. Everyone's got good, bad. No one's got their shit together completely. They've got half of their shit together.
Yeah, but why? So why we were walking around with these masks on? Like, you know, I was the queen of masks. No one really knew who I was for a very long time. Yeah. So it's just like, for me, it's kind of like, well, like we can own our stuff. We can be vulnerable. And I really believe that there's strength in vulnerability. Like I really believe that. And it's the opposite to our patriarchal beliefs. You know, we're trying to be as unfeminine as possible, which means showing the least amount of emotion as possible. Like emotions, what are they? They're for weak people, you know? So, yeah, I love just coming on and just being like, hey, this is me. This is what I'm cool at. Oh, I've got flaws too. Yeah. Let's share them. Let's keep going. Let's grow through them. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Have you noticed that's when? No, that's right. Have you noticed that when you are the most authentic and vulnerable, that's when most people come out and like affirm what you're going through and share that they're actually going through similar stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So much support.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, there's yeah, that was a really good conversation. How long have we been talking for? Am I taking up all your time?
There's only right now.
Hey?
There's only right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. It's really good talking to you, to be honest. Really good. I feel I was very healing. I'm actually really... I thought I was going to come on and be like, all like, yeah, motivation, mindset, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. Went a different way, which is cool. So I love not planning.
Well, it was a bit of everything, I think. Yeah, it was lovely. And thank you for being so open and willing to, you know, to go into those places and really share because, yeah, I mean, I know I got a lot out of it. I'm sure other people did as well. And, yeah, the conversation's not going to stop there. But is there somewhere specifically that people can go to connect with you and anyone specifically maybe that you'd like to reach out to that might be in my network or our network that like to shout out or...
No, if people want to message me, you can send me a private message. My inbox and my heart is open to private messages. I do readings actually that I don't really advertise. But I do tap into the Akashic records. So basically, if you want a reading from me, you just send me a private message. I'm doing discounted prices at the moment just because I haven't got advertising material and stuff together. But
how long do they go for?
Yeah. I don't put a cap on it. So usually an hour and a half minimum. Yeah, 2 hours if you need it. But we talk about a lot. So I think that's where a lot of my because that whole conversation about like us two together, like that was pretty all over the shop, right? Sometimes I feel like I've tapped into a lot really fast. I wouldn't say too much too fast. I think everything's perfect as it is, but it's been quite a roller coaster for me, and I've got all this stuff everywhere. And because, like, going back to the education system, you know, we're taught to look outside for answers, and I'm looking outside for what to call my stuff, but I have to go inside and own it and create it myself. And I think that's where my craziness comes from, but I dig that. So yeah,
The labels are for others. Well, I find because I remember going through it, and it's like, again, words can't explain it. You've got all these different modalities. You've had years of life experience that you draw on all the time when you're dealing with anyone. And to go, I'm a life coach, or I'm a spiritual healer, or I'm an energy practitioner, or whatever you like label it is. It's like, I don't know, where are the people that you want to be working with most? What most resonates with them? Where are they going to be? And what will catch their attention? And just use that. Who gives a fuck? Like, it doesn't explain you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. That's, well said. What you said.
And
yeah.
Thank you so much for the chat. It was fucking awesome. Is there any last sort of bumper sticker words of wisdom you want to slap on and sort of share with people that you'd like to leave them with?
Yeah, you're a superhero with superpowers, and unleash them, please. And if you want help unleashing them, message me. Send me a message, and I'll help you identify who you are at soul level and how to manifest what you want based on who you are. Because we're all different. So send me a message.
Would you like to do one with me live?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no one's
ever set that up before.
Yeah, we can set that up. Absolutely.
All right. Because I'm willing to open up and be vulnerable and share whatever needs to be shared, if it's going to help you as well, so to get a few clients on board.
Yeah, let's do a live reading. Yes. Okay, I'm excited for that. Let's do that within the next couple of weeks.
Done. Sorted.
That'll be
awesome.
Guys,
look out for that.
Yay! Okay, I'm excited for that. That is up my alley. Woo! All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my crazy talk. I got heaps of clarity out of talking to you, so thank you. I don't actually get to talk to a lot of people, so thank you for everything.
Thanks, Anne. See you guys. Chat soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.